What's up, everybody? This is Bryce Kenny, driver of the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior Monster Jam truck, and I am here with my buddy Charlie Pauken, driver of Gravedigger, champion of Stadium Series Yellow. What's up, Charlie? How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Just great to see a familiar face, actually, trying to touch base with everyone.
Well, your hair looks great. It's getting long. It wasn't that long during the season, was it? Or are you just letting it
at this point, we're just letting it go. And, we'll have to hook up with great clips when we get through this whole virus.
My Mohawk is not purple right now. It is not trimmed. The sides have not been this long ever in my life. So who knows? Maybe some fans will actually be happy that my Mohawk's going to actually get taller. I'm going to pull out George Bellhand. I'm going to embody his spirit and get an actual huge one, but I'm not going to shave the sides. So, but you're looking smart, my friend. So how is everything with this whole shelter-in-place stuff going on? What are you doing to kind of fill your time? Have you found projects to work on? What are you doing? Because the house looks great. You got fantastic pictures behind you. I love it. But how are you keeping yourself busy right now?
Always keeping busy. I've always got projects here at home. Chucky and I are always working on things. We're always driving the ATVs in the side yard practices and doing a little bit of stuff. Out in the garage, we've got projects. I've got a 52 Ford I'm going to start tearing into here shortly. So, we've got projects around the house. So I'm kind of enjoying the downtime with the family and all. It's actually, it's great to have that time, with the family.
Well, I know last year you were doing a lot of the skills challenge practice in your backyard off of something that you created, an ATV that you either put a roll cage on or you souped it up to try to give you a feel to get that balance point. Is that still running, or did that finally quit on you after all that abuse that thing had to probably take?
Actually, I've been really happy with it. Chucky and I did a great job. If anything does break, it's taken back into the shop, and he usually shuts it down, and we go over it and put it back together, and we're back out. We actually just did it the other day. We're out there whenever we can, weather permitting. We're out there practicing, keeping up on our little skills. Well,
and historically, March, April timeframe, obviously all of us are so slammed, and we're on the road. I think one of the things that we've been talking about with a lot of the drivers is it's an amazing thing that we've all been able to spend this kind of time with our families, and that's certainly a positive to take out of all of this that we're all going through. What has that meant for you guys, and Chucky in particular? Because has Chucky spent a lot of time? He's been traveling with you too, a few events, but now you guys are really spending a lot of time there at home as well. Is that what's kind of been your biggest takeaway with your relationship with your son in that way?
Well, tell you the truth, we weren't able to do a whole lot this year. He wasn't able to go on the road with me. He's a freshman and was really focusing on his schooling. He's in honors classes, taking a college credit course. So I'm all about that. You further your schooling as much as you can, whenever you can. Very important to me. From there, though, it's like we were supposed to have this weekend off. We were going to go up to Detroit to see.
Yeah.
So, we were going to take the whole family was going to go. I had family and friends going. I was like, cool, this is going to be a great weekend. And, we got shut down. So I was like, come on, so it's hurting that way. But to spend time with Chucky at home, it's great. Like I said, we've got these projects going on, and, he's doing the online schoolwork. Once he gets done with that, it's like, all right, game on, come on. We got stuff to do out in the garage, or, he's got stuff. Just crazy the things these kids are doing now. He's got a 3D printer. He's making parts for his RC trucks. It just amazes me.
Yeah.
So
and
we've got a lot of things going on.
A freshman in high school, you said?
He is a freshman in high school.
Okay. Gosh, man, that's amazing. I mean, it felt like just a couple years ago when I actually found Monster Jam and became part of the family, and he was still seemed like a little kid. I mean, the fact he's a freshman, he's going to beat up on you pretty soon.
He is. That's what I'm looking forward to it. He's we're just reviewing some videos from this year, going over things and talk about it and get ideas of what should have been done and what shouldn't have been done. It's great to see and watch the different competitors, what they have, and learn from it.
Well, speaking of beating up on other people, here you had a fantastic season, but you had some stiff competition. Camden Murphy, Tom Mintz, the professor of Monster Jam, Cody Saucier, you had Scott Buteau on your tour. I mean, that is stiff competition. When you saw that lineup come out, and I think they came out in November of last year, but when you saw that and you saw the competition you were going to be going up against, did you kind of get some butterflies, or you've been doing this a long time? I mean, maybe you felt confident against that group. What was your initial reaction when you saw this lineup for this Stadium Series Yellow?
With the caliber of talent, it's like I'm always like on the edge. Like, are you kidding? It's like Brianna Mahone is one. She's so consistent. She's out there every time. It's like you cannot give her any slack whatsoever. And I love watching her run. Scott Buteau, he's right there. Cody Saucier, are you kidding me? That kid, I love that kid. Tom, the professor, he's been in it long time, long game. It's hard to beat Tom anywhere, anytime. But boy, Camden Murphy, he is just I have a love-hate relationship with that kid. And he calls me dad sometimes, and we go back and forth. We banter ourselves, back and forth off the field. But boy, he just I'm just out to get him now.
Well, and what's pretty amazing too to even imagine is at the very end of this season, of course, there were still events to be had before all of us had the shelter-in-place hit, and you were determined the champion. You had a 1-point lead and ultimately a 1-point series championship win over Camden Murphy, who is in second place ultimately. And that's obviously not a very big lead, right? That is one event. And coming down to the end, too, we're going to talk about a couple of events there at the end of the season that really put you in first and led you to that championship. But do you think that another couple events were to take place, and here Camden Murphy was on a rail in racing. He was almost unbeatable for some ungodly reason that none of us can figure out how he's that fast in a Monster Jam truck already. But nonetheless, 1 point, do you think you would have held that lead ultimately all the way to the end of the season?
I had a lot of trouble in the beginning. We had a lot of, things that go wrong, and it'll take one little thing. I've had an electrical connector, a 15-cent electrical connector take me out of a show before. And that's all it will take, that 15-cent part letting go and putting you out of commission. So, in the beginning, boy, I was struggling. I had problems, and but boy, once we started bringing stuff together, Nico, my crew chief, did a great job of handling things. And once we had a good truck to work with, it just started to roll. And I felt a lot more comfortable with the truck. Things were rolling. I felt like I was going to take off. I was starting to feel good about the truck. Racing, I was getting racing real close with Camp. I was in the finals with him numerous times, and I had that little bit more. I just needed to tighten up a little more on my racing, and I think I would have had him.
So you were going to go up against Tom Mintz versus Camden Murphy, right? If you could choose to go up against one of those, because Tom Mintz, obviously, he finished the season on your tour in third place, just 10 points behind you. I mean, it was really a 3-horse race at that point. But if you had to choose for it to come down to freestyle or any of these competitions, but between Camden Murphy and Tom Mintz, who would you have wanted it to come down to against or go up against? Call it a racing final round.
A racing final round, I would have rather gone up against Tom Mintz than Camden.
Man.
That consistent, that good, that kid, I love him, but I hate him.
Yeah. What is this? And Camden he's one of the easiest people to cheer for, right? He's such a nice guy, but there's something that none of us want to lose to Camden Murphy. We don't, none of us want to lose to Todd LeDuc because we're afraid it'll blow up his ego. Right? We don't want to lose to Camden Murphy because he shouldn't be this good, this fast. What is it about him? Do you think it's just a confidence thing that he brings to the table now? Or is it just pure raw talent? What do you think it actually is?
From his racing career, he knows how to handle a vehicle, whether it's big or small. He's taken the technique from racing and thrown it into a monster truck. And, it's a lot different but in the same aspect, it's the same. You still want to hit your corners. You still want to hit your apex. You still want to hit your mark. And he knows how to do that. And he knows how to put the truck there. Yeah. No, I watch him. He's good. He's good, and I'm out for him.
And he's very aggressive in those turns. So he's obviously someone that everyone has to watch out for. Tom Meents coming in third place ultimately in the season. I know he was chomping at the bit to finish out the season. He was confident that he was going to make a run, but it was ultimately the man, the myth, the legend, Charlie Pauken, of course, taking home the series championship for Stadium Series Yellow. So congratulations once again. But we got to talk about the final 3 cities that you attended. Okay, Anaheim, Arlington, and El Paso. I think you had a total of 4 event wins, overall event championships. You had 3 skills challenge wins, and you also got a freestyle win. I mean, that's a lot of winning, Charlie Pauken. Were there any of those wins in particular that kind of stood out to you from those last 3 cities you competed in?
And, it's like everything's just started coming together and it just started flowing. Everything, I can't really pick a whole lot. But it's like one of the things it's like I'm known for is slap wheelies. I'd love to do the slap wheelie. There's nothing like a good slap wheelie. If you can pile drive that truck down into the ground and make it stand back up, and you can usually watch me and I'll be waving out the window as I'm doing it. And Oakland, I was actually able to, I was like, you know what? I talked to Chucky about it. I go, have you ever seen anybody take the steering wheel off, and hang it out the window as they're doing that? And he's like, no, I don't think it's ever been done before. It's like, all right, that's what I'm going to try and do. So in the one run, I was actually able to do the slap wheelie and actually pull the steering wheel off and hang it out the window. Of course, as I'm doing this, they still left the race moguls in place. So the truck was kind of dancing back and forth. And I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe this isn't the best idea. It was oh geez, so I'm in there dancing around myself. So that's one of the shows that just stood out to me. It's like, all right, it's that bringing something new to the, up in the game. You always want to try and up the game, and everyone's out there up in the game. That's what's cool about it. They're still inventing things that I never thought I'd see this. In all my life, I'd never thought you'd see a 10,000 pound, 12,000 pound now Monster Jam truck doing backflips. I never thought it. And now it's like to see a backflip, but that's what people want to see. Backflip, moonwalks. I never thought that would come about. And it's just awesome to see the people that can do it and the talent doing it.
Well, there is obviously a huge thing to be said for the fact that you have obviously been part of the innovation, the evolution of Monster Jam as a sport, and the influence you have had is beyond legendary. And I think all of the drivers, including the young bucks coming up like Camden Murphy, all of us should aspire to do half of what you have done in the sport of Monster Jam. I think the future will be very bright if that is the case. But speaking of dancing around, right, I don't know if you've ever done an interview in your life without someone asking you about the Chucky dance. I don't know how that actually started. How was the Chucky dance actually born?
I just had a great run. And I was all excited about it. I jumped out of the truck, just started doing a dance. And Scott Douglas was announcing, and he just tagged it the Chucky dance. And from there, it just kept on going. And people just asked for it. And that's the great thing about it. The people ask for it. The kids come up and will do it in the autograph session and pit parties. And, that to me, that's everything, When a kid comes up and does that for you and wants to do it with you, the video, that's everything. That's what it's all about, having fun.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what year that started, but Ace Ventura was 1995, I think, Jim Carrey. And I swear, when I see you do it, it looks like something out of an Ace Ventura movie to me. And I say that in the kindest and best way possible, right? And it's always fun to see you go out there and lay down an unbelievable freestyle run, that Gravedigger truck. And then get out and show that you're having just as much fun as the fans are in the stands. And I think that's why everyone loves to see you do the Chucky. So that's awesome, man.
That's what it's all about, I always say, put a smile on a kid's face is priceless.
Yeah. So, Charlie, the Monster Jam Power Rankings, it's something that all of us drivers were paying attention to, whether we wanted to say we were or not. Even the ones that didn't seem to be as social media savvy at least cared to see if we would break into the top 10. And until the second to last week of the power rankings, you weren't on the top 10 Monster Jam power rankings. You broke into 10th. And then after that final weekend in El Paso, I believe, you went all the way to 3rd place in the Monster Jam power rankings. How much were the Monster Jam power rankings motivating you as the year went along? Did you know that you weren't in the top 10? And once you broke in, did you say, hey, this is my time to shine? Or were you paying attention to it much at all?
To tell you the truth, I wasn't watching it as much as Chucky was watching it. And basically, as soon as anything came out, it's like he would send it to me and let me know exactly where I'm standing. So, does it motivate you? Of course. I mean, because nobody wants to be down in the bottom of the power rating. Are you kidding me? It's like, all right, come on. I got to pick this thing up. We got to pull this thing together. We got to try and make something happen. And yeah, it's like towards the end there, it's like, all right, we're on a rail now. Felt good about racing, felt good about 2-wheel skills, everything, freestyle was coming, everything was starting to work out. And I'm like, all right, we've got something here. Let's get rolling with this thing. And yeah, I felt like things were going great, whether we finished out the tour or not, it's like, I'm going for it. I was starting to get my groove. Things were feeling good. My crew chief, Nico, was doing a great job, pulling things together for me. So, yeah, I was feeling good.
And you were lightning fast in racing. You were always finishing really well in all 3 events in the Stadium Series. Yellow, was there one in particular event that you were probably the most confident going into to try to influence those power rankings?
It probably towards the last one, El Paso, just going into El Paso, everything was just, it's like up to that point, I just kept gaining speed. I just kept gaining, So to me, I felt like nothing could really go wrong here. It's like I was gaining. Everything felt good. I'm like, we are just, like I said, we are on a roll on this thing. We've got this thing dialed in, and I feel good. I feel confident because, going in, it's like when you first go in, if you have any kind of issue, I had some breakage, some axle housing busting, whatnot. I'm like, man, it just throws your confidence level to the bottom. You go, what is going on here? And to fight back from that, it's not just the mechanical aspect of the truck, it's also a mental game. The whole mental thing, realizing, trying to come back from that, trying to come back from something, devastating. You're trying to rebuild yourself. You're trying to bring yourself back up. So to me, that was what I was doing. I was trying to bring it back all together. And get on a good run.
Well, you definitely brought it back together, and obviously it ended up in a championship for you on Stadium Series Yellow. Congratulations again. And by the way, I think if I'm correct about this, 3 out of the last 4 years, you have been the series champion. And that's incredible because of how much the competition has continued to elevate itself in the entire sport of Monster Jam. Last year, it seemed like you had a ton of just truck breakage and kind of bad luck almost. Do you feel like you started the season, even though you kind of started the season, had a little bit of bad luck still? Do you think that was carryover from last year, or is that just a part of motorsports that all of us have to endure?
I think it's part of motorsports that we have to endure. You just never know what's going to be thrown at you. I came in this year thinking, all right, man, we are just going to rock the house, every time, and, right from the get-go, man, I got faltered. And so like I said, it's a mental game. It'll throw you. You just never know. That's just it. You're taking a 12,000-pound monster Jam truck, throwing it into the air and expecting it to just keep on trucking every time. Well, it just doesn't happen. Things get fatigued, things wear out, and things break. So it's like you never know. That's the great thing about Monster Jam. You never know. It's that whole unexpected thing. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know what the driver's capable of doing, with the vehicle he has. It's a combination, and you can't predict any of this. You never know what's going to happen. That's the great thing about it.
Well, and with your background and history in the sport, you've been doing this for so long. One of the things that I think that a lot of the young drivers, and I'm going to put myself in that category of new drivers. I don't know if I can call myself young anymore. I hope I can. But those of us that are still building up our experience, one of the things that I've had to learn with driving one of these Monster Jam trucks is getting to feel out the truck and knowing something's breaking before it actually breaks, or knowing exactly what broke when something happened. You are somebody that is, it's legendary. It's almost an urban myth, call it, or something, that you are like the truck whisperer. You know exactly what's going on, where to pinpoint that, and to tell the crew guys where to go and to watch, or maybe something's starting to let go. Do you feel that you are the truck whisperer, Charlie Pauken, when it comes to breakage itself? And can you avoid that, or is stuff like that just unavoidable?
There is a certain feel for the truck. I will say I've been taught that by a lot of the technicians, that they've been told through the ranks. Whenever I get a new crew chief, they're told to, if I say anything whatsoever about the truck, that they should take note to that, of exactly what I said, because I'm not just saying it just to say it. I'm saying it because there's something wrong with the truck. So yeah, I am known for that. There's certain things, I mean, you can feel what's going on with the truck. There's a lot of different things that you actually feel in the seat of your pants, you know. Mm-hmm. When they say driving by the seat of your pants, you literally are with that Monster Jam truck. And you can feel a lot of different things going wrong with the truck as you're driving it. You know, there's so much, you know, from the experience of driving it, especially from driving a grave digger truck over the years. I've got the privilege to experience a lot of different things. So yeah, it's great. The technicians, if I say something to them, they take note. It means there's something wrong and it should be looked at. So yeah, with that aspect, without a doubt.
Well, you definitely earned the right. That's for sure. So I need you to send some of that truck whispering knowledge and wisdom to me, man. I don't know if you can mail it to me or what, but I need it. I'm hungry for it. But you know what? Is there something to be said with the only way you get that is experience and learning by failing and learning by success and by succeeding. And you, my friend, have had a ton of success. Congratulations on just a continued career of amazing results and pulling your team together. There's a lot that goes in to winning one of these championships, and you deserve it, my friend.
Thank you, Bryce. Appreciate it.